So let's just start by maybe saying that project number 3 and project number 4 actually work in unison together. So you're going to ultimately be designing a product or an app in project number 4, and what you choose to do will inform the work that you ultimately take on for project number 3. And then what you learn in project number 3 is actually going to inform project number 4. If that doesn't make sense now, hopefully it will by the time we walked through it. The first thing you're going to want to do for these 2 projects is to pick what type of product or app you want to design ultimately or pursue for your final project. I've outlined 4 kind of generic categories for you to choose from. The first one being a money transferring app. Perhaps something like Venmo or PayPal comes to mind. A transportation app is another genre category to pick from. Maybe think of something like an Uber or a Lyft. A travel or tourism app, maybe think of something like an Airbnb, or an entertainment app. Maybe it's something like a Netflix or a Hulu. So for project number 4, you're going to be building from one of these 4 categories. It's going to be something that you come up with, informed by the information you get from project number 3's work that we do here. So first thing you're going to do is pick one of these 4 apps genres that you'd like to pursue. And then you're going to be building your own app from scratch, from the start, which is really cool and really exciting. Project number 3, though, focuses way left of where we're at on the UX kind of milestone map, or the UX deliverable map here. We're actually going to spend a lot of time, really all of project number 3, in this personas and UX research category. Unlike other projects that we've done so far, we're actually not going to be designing an interface for project number 3. It's really important to the success of an app, to the success of a product or a website, that you really spend some time to talk on the front end with your audience, with your actual end users. We've talked before about the importance of that in UI, UX design. And so for project number 3, I thought it was important for us to spend a few weeks digging into personas and UX research so that we can have an informed and successful 4th and final project for IXD. So we're going to be spending all of our time for project number 3 in this phase of understanding our audience, personas, and UX research. And project number 3 is all about putting the U in UI, UX design. That's, of course, stands for the user experience and user interface design. And so in both cases, like we've talked about, or in many cases, I know we've mentioned before, I know it's come up in the industry chats, you might not actually find yourself being the actual end user of this product, or at least the primary end user of a product that you might be designing. And so, we've talked about the importance of empathy and taking time to a moment to talk with your end users and audience to understand their frustrations, their pain points, their wants and needs out of your product. And so you might be asking, well, how do we even do that? How do we take what's in somebody else's mind, or what they want to see, or their experiences with past products or competitors, and how do we make informed decisions about the product that we're working on? And it's as simple as asking. I know for myself, when I embraced this portion of the UI UX design process, I really saw the way I designed change. Of course, as a creative and a design professional, you're going to come to the table with your experiences and with your understanding of design best practices and principles and methodology. But it's important to marry that with the needs, the wants, the pain points, the experiences of your end user. And those 2 things married together ultimately make a great final product. And so I'm excited about this project. It took many years for me to even understand when this was helpful to do, why personas or talking to the user was helpful. And so in many ways, I wish I had a project like this when I was in college, but I'm so excited for y'all to take a few weeks out of this course and actually dig into building personas, understanding their needs and their wants, expectations, out of a product that you'll be building, which is really cool. And so, like I said, for project number 3, you're going to actually be building personas. You'll be building 2 of them and conducting research. So what you'll be doing in that is gathering information along the way to make an informed decisions when you get into project number 4, where we'll really be walking through then between projects 3 and 4, kind of the full spectrum, the full scope of that UI UX process map that we looked at earlier. Project number 4 is going to focus on some of the similar deliverables that you've done before, IA maps, or maybe a different variation of that for this, the user flow or journey, wireframing, design systems or style guides, and then a final clickable prototype. We're going to be designing our final kind of app in Adobe XD like we have throughout the course, but then we're going to be porting it over again into InVision and leveraging some of their cool prototyping features for mobile apps specifically. So you can find a full schedule available for project number 3 in that project statement outlined with the different activities we'll be doing throughout the next few weeks. Just to touch on some of the highlights, there are actually only 2 big milestones that are due before the final package. Our final project number 3 package is going to include a very similar layout to what we've done for projects number 1 and 2, but a little twist to be specific for the goals and the types of things we'll be doing for project number 3. You're going to have a title slide, of course, an introduction or an overview to the project, the outcomes or kind of a high-level statement of what you learned, process examples. So your final 2 personas, the test plan itself, your testing outcomes, so what you actually heard from your users themselves when you talk to them, and then 3 main goals that you're going to define within the app itself. So you're going to take all that plus your learnings, the top 5 things you learned from your interviews based off what you heard from your users, and put that all together for your project number 3 package. So if anything changes in this, of course, I'll let you know as soon as I can. But for right now, this is what we're looking at for project number 3. Again, I'm really excited about this, excited about the opportunity for y'all to dig into project number 3's personas and user research. We just jump into the actual module that we find ourselves in right now. Of course, this video is going to find itself here in this first section. Video number 2, I have the ROI, or the return on investment of user experience design. Throughout my career, I've had the conversations or I've heard people say, well, why are we wasting so much time talking to our end users? Why are we wasting so much time on the front end of a project or the beginning of a project to invest in ideation and discovery and wireframes and all those things? And I think this is a great video just to go over the dollars, the actual kind of finances behind user experience design, the value that it brings, the return on the investment of spending time earlier, meaning that you don't have to fix things once it goes live, a product goes live, which wastes time and money if we could have just found it out earlier by talking to our end users. I've got some examples of personas here that you might be building, just some inspiration examples here. I'm also going to add a video that was a grad school project of mine that was really diving into user interviews, personas for the Kroger app. The Kroger grocery store app on your phone. So it's a quick 5-minute, I believe, video from my grad school work. It kind of encapsulates the entirety of a semester based on user research, personas, and the things that we'll be doing for this project, and a very brief snapshot compared to that entire semester's worth of grad school work. The instructions for this assignment. So what we'll need you to do to start off for this project is to really select what type of app you're going to pursue. Is it going to be the money transfer app? Is it going to be the travel or tourism app? Or maybe is it entertainment or the other app that we've got highlighted here as part of those four basic genres for your app. Other than the goal provided, and again, this is important for you to read that project statement because each of those four app genres come with at least one goal that I've generated that you'll need to keep in mind when you actually design. So other than the goal that's been provided, think about what other actions might a user take within this kind of app that you'd like to build. Who do you imagine, just at a high level, your target audience might be for this app? Is it, a travel app? Is it somebody who is, a world traveler who goes on a vacation, every month they're working from a new spot? Or is it a family that's just casually, looking to plan their next trip and wants to hear reviews and things like that from folks who might also be in their situation? So think about who you might imagine at a high level your target audience might be for an app like the one you've chose, and include your answers to those three questions and any additional thoughts in a 200 to 300 word statement here in each of your groups, new groups for project number 3. Hopefully we've mixed them up enough here, and then we'll go in to project number 4 with some new groups also. So hopefully this was helpful. Just wanted to provide a quick overview of project number 3 and then what to expect in that project overall, and then what's highlighted to be done for this work for the module that we find ourselves in. So post your feedback, your answers to these 3 questions by 5 p.m. on 3/18. I believe that's Thursday evening at 5 p.m. And excited to see what y'all choose, and looking forward to the work that you'll do for project number 3. So hopefully this was helpful, and I'll talk with y'all later. Thanks.